Peace and blessings, YouTube. Fiercesgdiva here. Welcome to the show. This is my month 6 and 7th ESG update. I kind of waited a little bit for this one because I wanted to make sure that I included my doctor's follow-up visit and my dietitian, my last dietitian visit, as well as I had a couple of things that happened kind of in between the transition from month 6 to 7. So I wanted to include those as well. So if you want to know how I did during month 6 and 7, stay tuned. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. But first, I'm going to remind you that you need to be subscribed to my Instagram page because Instagram is where I live, where I post daily, where I post my food, where I post my weekly updates and weigh-ins and short videos on things that just happen to come to my mind. So I will put my IG page information in the description box below, as well as the fact that, y'all, I'm on Facebook now. I finally went ahead and made a Facebook for my ESG. I did it more so to kind of join some of the groups now, and I'm not really going to speak on some of the stuff that I see people posting about in those groups. Let's just say I'm glad that I waited until I was about 6 months out to post in those groups, because I think that has helped me have a more successful mindset, because sometimes some of the negativity is just unreal that's in there. So anyway, if you want to know my Facebook page, there I will put that in the description box below. It does have my real name on there, which is Kyra Williams. However, if you I think if you search like Fiercesgdiva in Facebook, I have that as a nickname, so it will pop up. Go ahead and send me a friend request, and then you'll be able to see all of the content that I post on both IG and Instagram. All right, let's get into this video. So I always do weight first because I know that's what people are waiting to know. So big things that happened between month 6 and month 7. One of the major things is right after month 6, right about a week or so after month 6, I hit Wonderland. Yay! And y'all, it kind of surprised me how excited I was about that. Like, I didn't think I would be as excited as I was about hitting Wonderland, because to me, I was like, where there isn't that much difference between 200 and 199, but I guess it kind of was, and I didn't realize it. So I did hit Wonderland, and now that I am a little over 7 months out, I'm about 7 in a week or two. I made 7 months on the 19th of March. So now that I'm about 7 months, a little over 7 months out, my current weight as of this morning actually was 192 pounds. Okay, so that's 192 pounds. That is an ESG weight loss of, let me make sure I get this right. I'll put it in the description box, but an ESG weight loss of about 78 pounds, and then a total weight loss of 84. I want to say. I'll put it in the description box. I'm going off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down. But that's not what I'm most excited for. One of the most exciting things I'm excited for is, y'all, the inches. So I've never really talked about inches on here, but I do my inches usually once a month. And so I'm not going to go through every, place that I measure, but I'm going to talk about my stomach, because I know a lot of women struggle, and men struggle, with that mid area. So my beginning waist measurement, this is the smallest part of my waist, was 44 inches. Now my waist measurement, the smallest part, is 34 inches. That was 10 inches off of my waist alone. And then when we're talking about that belly button area, like the middle, the actual stomach, I guess, that big part of the stomach, from my belly button, so around my belly button, I started at 50 inches. I'm kind of ashamed to say that, y'all. I started at 50 inches. Now around my belly button is 38. Y'all, that is 12 inches off of my midsection. So that kind of made me excited right there. Just the fact that so many inches just came off that area that's always so hard to lose. So that's kind of some progress that I have. And as far as, I guess, kind of some a little reward to myself, I ordered a Peloton bike and have started using the Peloton app with the treadmill that I already have. My bike will be in May. It is it's my 100-pound weight loss present to myself. So I ordered it a little bit earlier because I know that it takes them a while to come in. I have about 16 pounds until I hit 100 pounds down. So I am hoping that by the time it comes in the first or second week of May, that I will either have reached that 16-pound loss and I will be weighing 100 pounds down, or I will be close enough to it where I'll go ahead and hop on the bike and get the rest done. That Peloton bike for me is what I want to call a maintenance present, because I think I'm about to get close to where I need to start maintaining, and that is going to help me maintain. So I'll also, for those of you that Peloton, I'll also put my Peloton Peloton username down below so you can see that as well. Okay, so that's kind of the weight in progress update. Let's talk nutrition and doctor's follow-ups. So for my nutrition visit, my dietitian went ahead and kind of gave me some tips on how to maintain from this point out. The reason why she did that is because the package that I chose included 6 months of dietitian services. So now that I'm at 7 months, basically our last follow-up visit was a month ago, and I don't have any more of her services. Now she's always there if I need her, and I can buy extra services from her. She also does services with patients who are not associated with my doctor, not associated with True You weight loss, like you didn't have your ESG there or you haven't had ESG at all. They do sell packages of just her, and I do recommend her. Her name is Laura Sebring. I want to say I'm getting that last name right. I just call her Laura. But Laura is amazing. She is a VSG recipient. So she has had VSG. She understands the struggle. She believes in carbohydrates. I mean, I'm telling you, she's really, really good. So if you are struggling with your dietitian services that you have, or you do not have a dietitian service, I highly recommend her. I believe you can go to the True You weight loss website and be able to schedule some services with her or buy some services with her. So anyway, when I spoke with her, she did give me the tips to on how to maintain. She did tell me to make sure that I'm always, guided by my hunger. So not to be overly restrictive with myself, especially as I'm about to get into the maintenance. Nobody wants to be, on a diet forever. We're supposed to turn this into a lifestyle, and I don't want to feel like I'm restricted forever. So with her guidance and kind of the information that she gave me about, the nice ratio, the percentage of nutrition breakdown of calories and all that, I decided that I was going to up my calories a little bit. So I used to be at 1,200 calories. I stayed at 1,200 calories until the 1st of March. However, at the end of February, I started to notice that some days I was just hungrier. And I think it's because I was actually working out a little bit more. I still am working out. And some days I was just hungry and I was going over my calories by about 100, sometimes 150, sometimes 200. And that would kind of make me feel like I wasn't doing well. And I am really big on trying to get my mind in a positive mindset. So anything that starts to make me feel like I'm not doing well, I'm going to change my mind about it or change it. I go by Maya Angelou's, if you don't like a situation or don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, then change your mind about it. So that's what I did. I kind of changed it. And so what I did was I gave myself 1,450 calories. I did my calculations online with a calculator to see what my, metabolic rate was and blah, 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 and said, okay, I'm going to try to keep it at up to 1,450. Some days I use that 1,450, some days I don't, but it really has helped with not necessarily hunger, because some days I am hungry. So yes, it's helped with that, but it's also helped with just, again, my mindset in general, and just knowing that I have that little bit of extra if I need it. So I did do that. I have not had any weight gain or anything from that. I've been eating like that since the 1st of March, and my weight has still steadily declined since March 1st. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to stay right now until I get into maintenance. I'll probably recalculate again and just kind of let my hunger guide me, but I am also still weighing, measuring, and tracking my food. So at my doctor's follow-up, at this point, I'm having follow-ups with Dr. Mcgowan every 2 months or so. So I hadn't seen him, and actually it's been a little bit longer than that. So I hadn't seen him since December. And in all honesty, now it's just kind of like talking with an old friend, because I am not really having any issues. So we did a little bit of catching up. He did say that one of the things that he thought was kind of unique was that I have not hit a plateau. In 84 pounds, I have not really had a stall. There's only been 3 weeks out of those 31 weeks or so that my weight either went up a little bit, like not even a whole pound, or stayed exactly the same. And so he said that that was kind of unique, and he was kind of amazed by that. I think that the reason it has done that is because I have increased my activity gradually. I've been, of course, measuring and tracking my food, but I also increased my activity gradually, and I varied my activity. So I don't really do the same thing all the time. I try to incorporate a variety of things, strength training, different types of cardio, all of that. And so I think with me, steadily increasing and not going real hard at the beginning, just kind of easing into the physical activity, it kind of allows my body to stay, I guess, guessing what I'm going to do. So that's the only thing that I can actually think of why I haven't hit a plateau. I am expecting a plateau. I'm especially expecting one as I get closer and closer to that 100-pound mark, which I know is coming. I'm expecting one. I'm not going to let it get me down, because I'm expecting it, and I know that this is what happens. And I also know that as long as I stay the course, I will eventually reach the weight that I want to reach. So that's kind of why I think I haven't had a plateau. Let's talk NSV. So I've already told you one, which was my Peloton bike, right? So that's a non-scale victory right there, even though it's kind of associated with the scale, but we're going to still call it a non-scale victory. The next thing is kind of people not recognizing me. I saw, a former student not too long ago, and she, even though I had on a mask, she didn't recognize me from that. She kind of, after I told her, who I was, she looked up and down and she was like, "What? Miss Williams?" Like she didn't recognize me because of my size. So that felt really good, because I actually forgot that I had lost weight for a minute. So I'm like, why is she looking at me like that? Well, that's why. I am starting to feel bones in my body. I don't know if I told y'all that in the last video or not. I don't go back and watch what I said in the video, so hopefully I didn't, but I am starting to feel hip bones, things that I haven't felt before. I got a whole shoulder situation, and look, see, y'all see this? Can y'all see a little décolleté situation going on here? All right. So I have that going on, which is really cool. I mean, as far as NSVs, I'm just overall feeling better. The clothes are getting smaller. I'm steadily trying to make too big clothes look good, because I don't want to go just full-fledged shopping. So every Thursday when I step on campus, I am trying to make something that is, 2 or 3 sizes too big look good. So I'm incorporating a lot of belts. There's a lot of dresses lately, because the dresses are easier to kind of belt and sash and all of that. So I mean, that's kind of really cool. People are also starting to notice the weight loss in my face. Like my colleagues that I haven't seen in a long time, when we have Zoom meetings and all of that, they're kind of starting to notice it and make comments. I am just as open about the procedure that I had with them as I am with you. I don't hide stuff from anybody. So, that's kind of made me feel good within there. And then I had a kind of a professional photo shoot today, which was really cool. So, if you're following me on Instagram, or if you'll follow me on Facebook, you'll get to see those pictures in a little bit. And I'll also reveal what that was for in a little bit. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll reveal that in about a week or two as well. All right. So now we get to the negatives, so to speak. So typically I don't have much to say about the negatives, because y'all, so far it has been really smooth for me. However, I do have a couple today. So the first one is constipation. I have experienced some constipation lately. About 2 weeks ago, I kind of had, several days of no bowel movements and all of that. And usually I can go every 2 days or so. I was never a person that went every day to begin with. So usually I can go every 2 days, maybe 3, but this time it was about 5. And honestly, I didn't recognize that it was 5 days until I started to feel discomfort and couldn't go and all that. And so it took some Dulcolax and some Miralax, but I did finally go. And because of that, I decided I may need to start kind of tracking and paying attention, and also adding in some daily fiber. So now I take a Metamucil. I do 2 teaspoons of Metamucil a day, mix in some water. I got the orange sugar-free kind. It doesn't taste bad. Just go ahead and down it when I down my normal vitamins. And I believe that has actually been helping. I've been doing that for maybe about a week or so now, and I think that has been helping with keeping me regular. So there's that. The next thing is the vitamins. So, oh, sorry, it's not the negative. This doesn't go into the negative. I should have talked about this with nutrition. So I did get to go down a dose with my vitamins. I don't have to take a double dose of the vitamin that I was taking before. My dietitian said I can do a regular vitamin. So again, this is not the negatives. I just forgot to talk about the vitamins within there. So just that may be like an NSV. I don't know. All right, so back to the negatives, or downsides. The next thing is hair loss. I've had a lot of women approach me about hair loss, and up until about month 6 or so, I had not had any actual hair loss. Now I am experiencing a little bit. It's in the back of my head. I do have dreadlocks, so basically if one comes out, I can typically see it. And so it's in the back of my head. My loctician who does my hair said that it looked like it was thinning just in the back. Everything else was good. I have lost 2, maybe 3 dreadlocks. I think I did miss maybe 3, but I didn't see it or something because she asked. But I know 2 for sure have come out. I just put those up because we can reattach dreadlocks once my hair once it stops thinning. My loctician actually thinks, and actually Dr. Mcgowan doesn't really think it has anything to do with the weight loss, because typically that happens to people within like the first 3 months or so. So they actually think, my loctician thinks that it may be coming from when I work out, my ponytails. Because every time I work out, I pull my hair in a ponytail, and so I may be pulling it. Usually it's a high ponytail, so maybe I'm pulling it too tight. So I've decided to stop doing that. I have always taken a biotin supplement as well. I take a dropper of biotin. I added collagen to it. So now I also take a collagen supplement to add to it, just to help with hair and also to help with skin, which leads me to my next topic. A lot of women ask me about skin too. So do I have loose skin? Of course, right? Of course I have loose skin. Why would I not? I've been overweight all of my adult life. I'm lighter than I was when I was 19 years old. Now I'm 37. Yeah, I have loose skin. It doesn't bother me because I expected it, and because I'm also planning on having plastics in a little bit after I hit maintenance for a while. So that loose skin doesn't bother me at all. But if you want to know where it is, and I'll probably post some pictures on Instagram. If you want to know where it is, I have loose skin arms. Like right in this type of situation, not a whole lot, but a little bit. I don't even know if y'all can, you can't see it, but it's right there. I have loose skin on my stomach, the fupa area, as we call it. I have birthed children, so we got that situation going on. So there's a little bit of loose skin there. Again, not really as bad. I think where it surprised me is at the inner thighs. I have loose skin on my inner thighs, and that's the area that I would say is the unsightliest, so to speak. And I really didn't have huge thighs. My body is pretty much proportionate for where I am. I'm learning that I am an hourglass. Didn't realize that, but I'm learning that now. And so my body is pretty proportionate in those two, top and bottom, but I do have that loose skin on the inner thighs. Don't know if I'm going to have surgery on the inner thighs, like skin removal there. Honestly, I hadn't planned on that. What I had planned on was kind of what they call the mommy makeover. So the breast lift and tummy tuck. That's what I had planned on. I had not actually planned with some back lipo, y'all. Don't forget the back lipo. But anyway, breast lift and tummy tuck, back lipo. That's what I had planned on. Not quite sure about the inner thigh skin, but we'll see when I get to where I want to get down to. Okay. And that's about, like I said, that's about another 16 to about 16 to 20 pounds is what I have, I believe, left to lose. That's what I think, where I think I'm going to maintain. That would put me at about 165 to 170. That's kind of where I want to stay. I'm 5'5", in case anybody was wanting to know. All right. And last but not least, and this pertains to those of us with uterus and those of us with a menstrual cycle. I have had some irregular menstrual cycles. My IUD is still fighting with my uterus, and so it doesn't really know it doesn't really know what it wants to do. So for my IUD, it's releasing the progesterone, which actually makes the thinning of the uterus really thin, or the lining of the uterus really thin, so that I have lighter periods or none at all. With weight loss, usually estrogen is stored in the fat cells. So when you lose weight, that gets released into your bloodstream. And because it got released in my bloodstream, the estrogen is trying to make the lining of my uterus very thick. So now we have progesterone and estrogen like fighting it out in there, which results in me having not heavy periods, but but more like irregular ones. So I may have like 2 a month, and then I may have nothing 1 month. But even the 2 aren't even as heavy. It's just like there and annoying. It's not really a huge thing. So anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I was really trying to make this video a little bit shorter, and it's almost 20 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. Actually, it's a little bit longer. So sorry about that. But if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment box below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Bye.